Lesson number 2, July 2nd to the 8th. The Crucibles That Come. Memory text, 1 Peter 4:12 to 13. Beloved, do not think it strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened to you, but rejoice to the extent that you partake of Christ's sufferings, that, when his glory is revealed, you may also be glad with exceeding joy. In chemistry labs, one often places various materials into a small container and heats them to extreme temperatures. As the container becomes hotter, the materials either melt, fizzle, spit, or burn brightly, depending upon what they are made of. The container is called a crucible. A crucible is defined in the dictionary as 1. A vessel used for melting a substance that requires a high degree of heat. 2. A severe test. Or 3. A place or situation in which concentrated forces interact to cause or influence change or development. These definitions also give us a helpful insight into what happens in our spiritual lives. This week, we'll highlight some reasons we may suddenly find ourselves under pressure and experiencing tests in places in which circumstances cause us to change, develop, and grow in character. This will help to give us an awareness of what God is doing in our lives, so that when we enter a crucible, we will have an idea of how to respond. The week at a glance. What are the causes of the difficult times that we experience through our lives? From the book The Desire of Ages 4:16 it says, "It was to Peter a bitter lesson, and one which he learned about slowly, that the path of Christ on earth lay through agony and humiliation. The disciples shrank from fellowship with his Lord in suffering, but in the heat of the furnace fire he was to learn its blessing. Long afterward, when his active form was bowed with burden of years and labors, he wrote, Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fire trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that, when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy." From the book Faith I Live By, page 317, it says, "The followers of Christ know little of the plots which Satan and his host are forming against them. But he who sitteth in the heaven will overrule all these devices for the accomplishment of his deep designs. The Lord permits his people to be subjected to fiery ordeal of temptations, not because he takes pleasure in their distress and affliction, but because this process is essential to their final victory. By God's mighty cleaver of truth, we may have been taken from the quarry of the worlds and brought into the workshop of the Lord to be prepared for a place in his temple. In this work, the hammer and chisel must act their parts, and then comes the polishing. Rebel not under this process of grace. You may be a rough stone on which much work must be done before you are prepared for the place God designs you to fill. You need not be surprised if with the hammer and chisel of trial, God cuts away your defects of character. He alone can accomplish this work, and be assured that he will not strike one useless blow." Have a happy Sabbath.